Shahar. This is Andy Shepperd, and we are going to talk today about failure. You know, I thought it was interesting that we were going to talk today because you are a success coach, right? What's the
Yes.
name of your company again?
Shepperd Success Coaching.
Okay, so have you ever failed in life?
Of course, I've failed lots of times.
Lots of times. Tell
Yeah.
me one of them.
Failed in a relationship in Brazil. I always thought that I could, do anything. I thought I was superhuman, and that was kind of a really big, tough lesson to me because I was always, until then, I'd always been successful. Whatever I wanted, I achieved, and with her, I didn't. So that was
How
that
did
was
you
pretty
feel
heavy.
at that moment?
It devastated me. It's taken me years to get to the other side and let go of that.
So that's
You know.
interesting because
But I learned a lesson from it.
you told me before you were with her for about 2 years.
That's right.
But then it took years for you to recover.
That's right.
Okay, can you guide me through this process? Why is it so hard to stand up again and move on?
Well, it's like when you've never tasted failure before, then you don't see it. All you see is success, success, success.
So you just cannot live with that.
That's right.
Okay.
I just couldn't see it. And I think because I really loved her so much, I just really wanted it to work, and I put every single thing into it, and it just couldn't work.
And after that, you said you failed again.
Yeah, I mean, then there was a sequence. I was good at failing then, I'd learned it, and I thought, yeah, I should use this more often. This is great,
Failing.
Yeah, let's just keep failing, But yeah, now I change it. It's all about failing forward. So there's
So
no
explain
such
that
thing as.
concept to me.
Well, failing forward is something important because a lot of entrepreneurs don't. A lot of people as well, but with an entrepreneur, it's something very relevant. They can't do well in business or progress in the business because they're so scared of failing and things not going right, and they analyze it all and say, I've got to get everything right and it's got to work, and it hasn't. Fail forward, it's like, it didn't work, right, great, I know that's wrong, stop doing it, or what can I modify, what can I adjust, how can I make it work, what other thing can I try? It didn't work. So it's like you need to fail quickly. It's like just go for it and fail quickly. Okay, it doesn't work. Boom, I know, do something else.
So that period that it takes for you to recover would become a shortcut then?
Well, at the end of the day, if you think about it, it's like my favorite example, and you've probably heard this before. It's like when if I was coming from the UK to America, it's like I've got a specific landing place, and I'm going from one airport to the other. Well, did you know that probably something like 97% of the time I'm actually going completely off course? Did you know that?
I did.
Right.
Yeah.
So not a lot of people know that, and it's like all the time the pilot is making course corrections, and sometimes he's purposely going in the wrong direction or the wrong way because he's got a headwind to go against, and he's counteracting that, and it's irrelevant. It's like the end goal that's important. So it's like that didn't work. Boom, it doesn't matter. And when I see things now that fail, I don't worry about them. So if I had a disastrous relationship, I would go, great, I am now one person closer to being with my soulmate, the person that I'm supposed to be with.
So do you
Because it's
agree?
like part of the process, isn't it?
It
You can't.
is.
I mean, when you're walking somewhere, you've got a certain amount of steps. So it's just you one step closer. You've got to take the steps. So that girlfriend is part of the step. That failure is part of it.
So do you agree with me that the way you see failure today is really different than from that first relationship that didn't work out?
Absolutely, definitely.
So failure is part of the process.
Yes, it is, and it's very useful.
The reason I want to bring this up is because we do live in a culture that doesn't want to talk about failure.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know in your own culture how it is. In mine, we say that Brazilians are half-empty glasses anyway. We always see the bad side first.
Right.
But here it's like it's a taboo, and you cannot fail.
Right.
How do you see that? Is the same as it is in your country, or?
No, it isn't. I think, and sorry, Brits, if you're listening, but I feel my experience has been, and correct me if I'm wrong, but don't start sending me emails and stuff. you know, is that we are very pessimistic about stuff, and oh, it'll never work, and what's the point of trying, you know, and,
So
and
you're
things like this.
half glass
Empty,
well?
definitely,
Oh,
definitely.
good.
And what I do love is, and we'll like bring people down as well, which is even worse. It's like, you know, you've got a nice car, and they're like, go, what do you buy one of those for? If something goes wrong, it's going to cost you a fortune, you know. Or like when I bought my first Mercedes, then the guy turned round to me and he said, how come you've not got a fancy CD? No, why haven't you got aircon in it? And it's like, you know, and I just bought it. It got alloy wheels on it. It got a super 6 CD stereo Alpine system in it. It was amazing. And they always got to bring you down. It's like, it's just crazy. Americans are really different. I find that they really are, you know, half glass full kind of thing, and they celebrate, they focus on success, and they focus on what's going right. And it's like, you know, you've got a new Mercedes, and Brazilians do this as well. You know, even if I got a scrap heap of a car, and it's my first car, I go, oh, that's great, fantastic. You know, a person who's a multi-millionaire would do that, and they would genuinely, from the heart, be so pleased for their friend that they've got that. I had friends, you know, they were multi-millionaire doctors, and even the tiniest thing that I got, oh, I'm so happy for you, Andy, that's fantastic.
That's fantastic.
You know, in the UK, the opposite, bring you down. Americans, you know, it's like, you're a multi-millionaire. Great, we talk about that. Hey, I made $1 million yesterday. That's great. Well done. The UK, it's like, oh, such a show-off. You know, oh, why is he always talking about money?
Money is not very nice
It's
in
taboo.
many cultures.
Yes.
But here people are okay with that.
And I think that's right. Because it's like, you know, you can talk about it, so it's making it okay. In everywhere else, it's like a dirty word. So how can you be, you know, I believe in law of attraction. How can you be attracting stuff if you can't talk about it, if you've got some negative response to it? Because what you're doing is you're saying money's dirty, money's wrong. You know, being wealthy is wrong.
You're not part of that.
Yeah,
right?
You're saying, I don't want that. And the universe is like going, yeah, okay, you don't want it, you don't get it.
But when it comes to failure in America, well, do you agree it's an important piece of our lives? We will fail no matter what we do.
It's essential to everybody. I mean, the failure, really, it's not the failure that is important. Everything's all about how you deal with it. That's the important thing.
So you told me before you had a school.
It's all about framing and you know, and
yeah, so
and
I
to
want you
perceive
to guide
it.
me. In that moment, you saw that you had an English school in Brazil. It was not going well. You went through a self-transformation.
That's right.
After that, tell me what happened. What turned that business around? Because you were able to bring it to success, right?
Yeah, I realized that basically it was dependent on my mind. It's not about the effort that I put in. Yes, that's an important component. You know, you've got to do things, but you've got to do the right things. And what's controlling what you're doing? It's here, you know. And it's like if you're not in a good place, then what you'll do is not going to be good as well, you know. So I found that was really important.
So changing your mindset was what helped turn the business around.
That's right.
So can you give people some tips on how do they change their mindset towards success then?
Right. Well, there's, I mean, that's huge what we're just talking about here. You know, for me to give it you in a few sentences is, you know, it doesn't do justice to the whole subject, but I'll see what I can do. But, you know, specifically about failure, everything is about seeing the good of whatever it is. So, for example, with things that are not going right, it's like if I feel bad, then, you know, it's like an alarm bell, because I really do believe, and I've heard several people say this, that really we're here to be happy. And if you just take that one concept, if anybody's listening and you just take that one concept with you, that will transform your life. You are here to be happy. That's it. So if you concentrate on that, then you just need to transform everything. And it's like, I'm not feeling happy today. Well, that's not where I'm supposed to be. And how can you attract good things if you're not feeling happy? Because if I'm depressed, I'm going to make you depressed. I'm going to make everybody around me depressed. I'm going to make people worry about me. It's just horrible. What's the opposite? If I'm feeling good, what am I going to do? I'm going to make you feel good. If you're depressed, I might make you get you out of your depression. It's contagious as well.
Right.
You know, whether you're good or bad. So isn't it nicer to be good and then you're contagiously happy to others? So you say, well, no, it's a whole bunch of circumstances that's making me feel this way. It isn't. You know, because basically everything's about the reaction you make. people say that the occurrence equals the result, and it doesn't. You say that if this happens, I'm going to feel bad, you know, and you need to change your reaction to it. An example that I give in my presentations, for example, would be that, you know, your car breaks down. So you're immediately going, oh my goodness, my car's broken down, this is a disaster. So let's reframe it, let's see it at a different angle. Oh, thank goodness, because, you know, now I know that I need to do maintenance on this car, you know, and that's great. So I'm going to get it all completely serviced. And hey, I'm going to get some exercise this morning. It's a beautiful day, the sun's out, yay.
So being happy and learning how to reframe would be two great components for this.
Yeah, it's like just seeing, well, how could this be? How could this benefit me? And you know, there are times when you can't reframe things. You can't turn it into something positive. And you just have to say, it is what it is, and just let go of it.
And leave the moment.
Yeah, it's just, you know, just something happens that's disagreeable, and you just say, okay, it happened. And it's not positive or negative, it just is. And that's it, just let go.
Or else it can poison.
Yeah, I mean, so many people's days are ruined just by little things happening. And, you know, I've seen this in a very, there's a documentary about this kind of thing. And, you know, literally, it's like, you know, you stub your toe in the morning, and then after that, you're going to knock your coffee over, and, you know, you're going to slip in the shower, and you've got a chain reaction. And when I do, I have there's actually a confused state when you're like that. If you pay attention, then it's like your mind is somewhere. And so it's like you've got this energy to you, and you're just going to keep having accidents. So I just draw my energy into myself, and I just become calm. I've done a lot of meditation, so it's, you know, it's easy for me to be able to get my energy into myself and just calm down. And, you know, still things will keep happening, and then eventually I'll be able to, you know, just calm the whole thing down and stop further incidents. And then I can just feel the energy dissipating and just going away.
Going away.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. And I know there's a lot more, but great tips, right? Be happy,
yes,
refrain, and know how to relocate your own energy, right, to the positive.
Yes.
And if people...
And one of them is actually, it's something so simple, and I found it by accident. When I was being overwhelmed by stuff, and things were really going to pieces, what I did was I would just breathe, deep breath, slow breath. And I would just keep going with these deep breaths, and you just bring yourself into yourself. And otherwise you're just like going, ah, and screaming, going, oh my God, it's terrible, and don't. You just got to bring yourself in, and just deep breathing. It's so simple, we can all do it. And, you know, it just brings you together. And, you know, and we want something bigger. We want some drug to take, or we want something, well, that's too small, Andy. Give me something, I want the advanced stuff. It's not about the advanced stuff. You know, if we do the very simplest of things, and we're saying, this is how I live my life, this is how we make transformations. It's concentration on the basic stuff. I mean, it's like you can have the foundation of this building. This is a beautiful place we're in now. Well, imagine the basics is the foundation. And if we got that wrong, the whole building would be destroyed. So this is the fundamentals are the most important every time.
And you know, I just went through a breathing class for the very first time in my life. And I was so impressed how I felt afterwards.
Right.
So, you know, we are both superheroes, right? And we know that the power lies within, and we need to learn how to use that, and not only, you know, go get outside stuff to make us feel better.
That's right.
That's fantastic.
Yes.
And if people want to go deeper into this journey with you, where should they go?
Right. Well, I mean, if you look on my site, it's shepperdsuccesscoaching.com would be a good place to go. And you can contact me at andy@shepperdsuccesscoaching.com as well.
That's fantastic. Thank you very much for being here.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you for you being here with us, and go be happy.
Go be happy.